My name is Brian Miller. I'm the CEO, director, and co-founder of Astra Exploration. This is a relatively new company, only 5 years old. I'm going to be talking to you today about a high-grade gold and silver discovery in Argentina. Standard cautionary statement. It is on our website. I do encourage you to read it. I'm going to go briefly through some of the team. I'll be moving quickly through a lot of this, but it is worth mentioning the team who is behind this. Very capable, very proven in the jurisdiction in which we're looking. They've had several successful exits. They've made world-class discoveries. They have created a ton of value for shareholders. Darcy Marud, one of our directors, led one of the teams that discovered El Peñón in northern Chile. He discovered the Mercedes mine in Mexico, and he helped build the Cerro Moro mine in Argentina in the Deseado Massif, which we're going to be talking about today. Charles Funk, CEO of Heliostar. He was VP Exploration at Vizsla Silver when they discovered Napoleon at Panuco. Diego Guido, our head of exploration, based in Buenos Aires. He discovered the Pingüino deposit in Santa Cruz. He's a globally recognized epithermal expert and particularly sought out for his expertise in the Deseado Massif. Roberto Alarcon Bittner is our country manager and VP based in Santiago. He was legal counsel at Yamana and Homestake. This is the guy who knows how to get stuff done in South America. And our CFO, Mahesh Leonage, also CFO at Vizsla Silver and previously CFO at Mirasol Resources focused in Chile and Argentina. I would put our capital structure up against any one of our peer groups in the industry, and that's not hyperbole, I mean it. Between management and a small group of investors led by Michael Gentili, it accounts for about 80% ownership. It's a very tight public float, closely held, long-term sticky shareholders. Issued and outstanding 101 million shares, fully diluted 115. Cash position, that's the June figure. We're at about $1.5 million right now. It gives us enough funds to get into 2026 and funds this next drill campaign at La Manchuria. And there's also about $750,000 in very deep in the money warrants that are held by this close network of investors. There are 3 projects in the portfolio. I'm only going to be talking about the one in Argentina today, but there are 2 in northern Chile that are high quality assets. They have good discovery potential. There's a lot of deep value in those. But we're going to be talking about Argentina, province of Santa Cruz in the Deseado Massif. It's one of the best mining jurisdictions in the country. The Massif is one of the most prolific environments in the world for epithermal gold silver. It's host to several producing mines, including world-class deposits like Cerro Negro and Cerro Vanguardia. The La Manchuria Claim Group, this is the blue outline here. It's 5,600 hectares, so it's a good-sized land package. That blue circle in the center I want to draw your attention to. That is the place on the project, the only place on the project that has been drilled. This entire system is pretty much covered by some shallow volcanics. There's only one outcropping spot on the northwest margins, but we've identified several regional targets that we believe give this thing district scale potential. Previous operators had only drilled this very shallowly, and so what we have are exceptionally high grades, very near surface, and near surface high grades tend to have extraordinary value. Just the pink outline here, some of the volcanics that cover this deposit. Again, very shallow. We see evidence that there is the ability to expand this in all directions. I'm zooming into the property right now. These 2 circles are the only 2 places that have been drilled. There was about 120 drill holes on this project when we acquired it. Only 5 of those were in the eastern zone. But you can see the grades that we have here. They're not one-off. They are consistent. The fertility of the system is absolutely incredible. You literally have ounces of gold and kilograms of silver in multiple drill intersections within 100 to 150 meters of surface. Our first drill campaign was 2,500 meters, only 11 holes. Diego knocked it out of the park with that. He literally opened the system up in every dimension. And so some of the key takeaways, we extended the primary mineralized targets. In fact, I'll back up here for just a minute. The veins in that left circle there, the veins are northwest to southwest oriented, and it was previously thought that they had terminated at the south end of those veins. We proved with the first drill campaign that the system is open along strike to the southeast. It plunges underneath the volcanics. There's also a post-mineral cover there that covers the veins at top, and it reduces the vertical extension of the veins. It looks like that is thinning to the southeast, so not only is the system open along strike, it appears to be opening up in the vertical dimension. The veinlets at surface that carry the high grades were previously drilled out in a bulk tonnage resource. We have confirmed that those veinlets do coalesce into thicker high-grade structures with minimal depth. And we've also discovered a new series of host rocks at depth. So these are the rocks that carry the high grades. This was previously undiscovered with the previous operators, and it was unbeknownst to us until this first drill program. But there were 4 target areas. Target area 1 there was the extension, to test the extension of the veins to the southeast. Target area 2 was to test for parallel veins to the northeast. Target area 3 testing for parallel veins to the southwest. And target area 4 testing the eastern zone. Hole 107 for the target area 1 intersected 1.6 meters at 75 grams gold and 87 grams silver. Hole 110, which was a further step out, and by the way, every hole that we drilled on here was a step out hole. We didn't do any infill drilling, no twin drilling where we knew there was grades. We stepped out beyond existing drilling. We were really aiming to expand this. Hole 110 intersected really nice looking veins, but no grade. The reason for that, so this is a long section here. If you look at the map on your left and pretend you're standing on the letter E looking southwest, this is the ore chute in the pink and yellow units. It plunges to the southeast, so it gets deeper in the ground. The green unit below that is andesites. It carries veins, but they typically are not mineralized. So once you hit the andesites, you might see veins, but no grade. Hole 107 hit the right host rocks. Hole 110 hit the andesites, so there was no grade. We're confident that if you'd put that hole up in the host rocks, you'd have similar results as 107. The blue unit there is post-mineral cover. That does appear to be getting thinner to the southeast, as it also shows up very well in the geophysics. So not only is this open along strike, but it appears to be opening in the vertical dimension for potentially several hundred meters along strike. Target area 2, hole 109 intersected some interesting grades, 4 meters at 3.7 gram gold and 81 grams silver. Hole 108, this was one of our best holes, 4.4 meters, 11.8 grams gold, and over 2,700 grams of silver. Most of this was in a single vein that was 1.4 meters wide that carried 35 grams gold and over 8,300 grams of silver. This is a cross-section from that intersection, and interestingly enough, previous drilling had intersected this structure near surface. They got decent grades, 2 meters at 2 gram gold and 300 grams silver. This was in a series of very narrow veinlets, the thickest one being 10 centimeters. This coalesces into a thicker vein of almost 1.5 meters with some spectacular grades beneath. This is open above this, below this, and along strike in both directions. Just some circles here showing the coalescing structure of those veins. Hole 105, this was our biggest step out, 150 meters out. We intersected 3 new veins, discovered 3 new veins near surface, highlighted by 2 meters, almost 7 gram gold and a half kilo of silver, open in all directions. Hole 113, again, discovered 4 new veins at surface, highlighted by 1.3 meters of 17 gram gold and 61 gram silver. Now, being the non-geologist, what I think of when I see these, I think right back to that hole 108 where they found some interesting grade right at surface, and they had a much thicker and higher grade structure at depth, only 100 meters down. This is a cross-section of hole 113. And again, in the circle, you see the orientation of the veins appear to be coalescing into a thicker structure at depth. Hole 112 was in the eastern zone. We only put 2 holes here. There was a previous hole that had high-grade results here, so we stepped back, drilled underneath it. We hit that structure at about 100 meters depth. That was 3 meters at 3.8 gram gold and 25 grams silver. But perhaps more importantly, up at the top of that hole, we intersected a new vein structure that graded 7.6 grams of gold over 4 meters. Hole 114, very nice looking vein, no grade. Right away, we were into the andesites, but perhaps one of the most important holes we drilled. On the right-hand side of this long section here, you can see where that black circle is. That was the intersection of that hole. It drilled through the andesites and into a new unit of host rock. The same thing happened in hole 110, which was that deep hole on the southeast step out. We drilled through the andesites and got into a new unit of host rock. So the basement unit, these andesites aren't one continuous basement unit. It's actually a series of sills that sandwiches the host rock in between them. This is early on in this, but this opens up some exceptional opportunity at depth. So next steps, we're funded in 2026, including the next drill program. We have multiple high-quality targets. We have crews mobilized in front of the drill program. We've been getting a ton of interest in this story. And I think the best way to put a fine point on it is we gave Diego just over $1 million for a drill budget, and he converted that into over $60 million in market cap, and we are just getting started. Thank you.